Self-esteem is an important factor in the life of both women and men. We hear that this is the key to success, that we must be confident in ourselves, strive for what seems to us the most important in life. The media encourages people to take matters into their own hands, reassuring the public that self-confidence is attractive and not only individual, but also social and sexual. There are many self-esteem books on the consumer market. Self-development courses for self-confidence are also offered. However, few people admit that they have low self-esteem. This is a kind of taboo topic that people rarely want to talk about, leaving all their doubts behind and living with their growing complexes. Thanks to high self-esteem, a person knows that in life he deserves happiness, love and respect from other people. When starting new pursuits, he believes in success, and when faced with difficulties, he fights with them and does not give up. He perceives possible failures as a signal for further improvement, does not lose heart and does not doubt. He believes in his competence, as well as the intelligence and experience that will help him cope with challenges at every stage of his life. Self-esteem is also associated with accepting one's own body and appearance, with a sense of one's own attractiveness. It is also the belief that a person deserves a decent job and a satisfying relationship, both emotional and sexual. The most important point to pay attention to is that a person's self-esteem is formed from an early age. In the beginning, in the first years of life, the child is influenced only by the family and close environment. During this period, the most important thing is what advice he receives in these situations and how he is taught to cope with situations of success and failure. These early years of building self-esteem are very important. A child who is criticized in the face of a problem begins to realize that making mistakes is bad. On the other hand, a child who, in the same situation, hears words of support and recommendations on how to cope with a similar problem the next time, will understand that mistakes are natural and serve to enrich the experience. Therefore, they are part of self-development. For a young child, advice from parents is most important. During this period, the parent is a role model, and his behavior is always correct and worthy to follow. The development of a child's self-esteem will affect his future success or failure, position in the group, readiness for personal development, and whether he becomes susceptible to the influence of other people in adulthood. Properly educated self-esteem is the key to better functioning in society. A person with high self-esteem is a person who respects himself and other people. He knows his weaknesses and strengths and fully accepts them, because thanks to them he is unique and exceptional. He can look at himself from afar, he can laugh at himself, but when necessary, he becomes a resourceful person who takes up challenges. He is open to new experiences that do not evoke anxiety, but rather curiosity and thrill before the challenge. He tries to make full use of the available development opportunities. He can effectively look for ways to achieve his goals, without being too discouraged because of difficulties. A person with high self-esteem is not a slave to his complexes and fears. He has them, like any other person, but he tries to control them. Thanks to this, he is a sociable person and is open to interpersonal contacts that do not give him difficulties. He is aware of his desires. He is characterized by healthy self-confidence. He views failure as learning and an opportunity to improve his behavior patterns. Losing for him is an additional motivation for activity, and not a punishment for the actions taken. This allows him to draw new conclusions and build another part of the experience. He has a well-developed assertiveness. He can defend his views, while respecting the opinion of other people, even if it is different from his own. Such people know their worth and quite easily adapt to new living conditions. They believe they can handle anything. They take responsibility for the course of their lives, for their failures and successes, for what they have achieved, and what else they want to achieve. Self-esteem has a huge impact on everyone's life, regardless of gender or social status. Of course, even people with positive self-esteem have bad days, cry, feel powerless, or get angry. Sometimes they do not want to get out of bed, and adversity can rob them of the will to act. However, they break the deadlock much faster and are more actively looking for ways to solve current problems. Low self-esteem can be the result of a difficult experience, or separation from a partner, so don't be afraid to seek professional help. Working on your problems often helps restore self-esteem.